If you're using the wrong oil in your Volkswagen right now, you're literally destroying your engine from the inside out. And the worst part? Your mechanic might be the one who put it in there. What I'm about to tell you could save your engine and thousands of dollars in repairs. This is not clickbait. This is critical information every VW owner needs to know immediately. Listen very carefully, because this might be the most important video you watch about your Volkswagen this year. There's a massive misconception about engine oil that's destroying VW engines across the country, and it's happening because people trust the wrong information. I've personally seen dozens of VW engines fail catastrophically. Turbos destroyed, timing chain tensioners collapsed, cam followers worn completely through, all because of incorrect oil. And in almost every case, the owner thought they were doing the right thing. They were using synthetic oil or high-quality oil or whatever their quick lube shop recommended. Here's the reality. Not all synthetic oils are created equal, and not all good oils are good for your Volkswagen. Your VW engine has specific requirements that go far beyond the basic viscosity rating on the bottle. Ignore these requirements, and you're gambling with an $8,000 engine replacement. I'm going to expose the specific oils you must avoid, explain exactly why they're destroying VW engines, show you what happens inside your engine when you use the wrong oil, and give you the definitive guide to choosing the right oil every single time. Let's start with the biggest mistake VW owners make. The deadly mistake: non-VW approved oils. That 5W30 full synthetic sitting on the shelf at your local auto parts store? It's killing your engine. Here's what most people don't understand. Volkswagen engines are fundamentally different from American and Japanese engines. They have tighter tolerances, higher specific output, sophisticated variable valve timing systems, and in most cases, turbochargers that spin at over 100,000 RPM. These engines need oil that meets very specific VW approval standards. The most critical approvals are VW 502.00, VW 504.00, and VW 508.00. These aren't just marketing terms. They represent oils that have passed Volkswagen's rigorous testing for thermal stability, shear resistance, deposit control, and component protection. Why generic synthetic oil fails? Walk into any quick lube shop or auto parts store, and they'll try to sell you full synthetic 5W30 or 5W40. The viscosity might be correct, but that's only one small part of the equation. Without VW approval, that oil lacks the specific additive packages your engine needs. VW engines generate extreme temperatures, especially in the turbocharger. Generic oils break down under this heat, forming sludge and varnish deposits. They don't protect the high-pressure fuel pump adequately. They can't handle the shear forces in the timing chain system, and they don't have the right friction modifiers for VW's variable valve timing. The real-world consequences. I've torn down engines that use non-approved oil for just 20,000 miles. The cam followers showed significant wear. The timing chain guide rails were brittle and cracking. The turbo bearings had scoring. The intake cam lobes had visible pitting. All of this damage is invisible from the outside, but it's accumulating every single mile you drive. Then one day, the timing chain tensioner fails catastrophically, or the turbo seizes, or the high-pressure fuel pump grenades itself, sending metal debris through your entire fuel system. These aren't gradual failures. They're sudden, catastrophic, and expensive. The false economy. People use cheap, non-approved oil because it saves $20 per oil change. Over 5 years, that's maybe $200 in savings. But when your turbo fails at 80,000 miles instead of 200,000 miles, you're looking at a $2,500 repair. When your timing chain needs replacement at 100,000 miles instead of never, that's $1,500. The math doesn't work. You're not saving money. You're prepaying for future repairs. The specific oils to avoid. I'm going to name names because your engine's life depends on it. Let me be crystal clear about oils you should never use in your Volkswagen, regardless of what anyone tells you. Conventional oils, any brand, any viscosity. Your VW requires synthetic oil, period. Conventional oil cannot handle the thermal stress, cannot maintain proper viscosity under load, and breaks down far too quickly. I don't care if someone says, "I've always used conventional and never had problems." They're either lying or their engine is dying slowly and they don't realize it. Non-approved synthetic oils. This is where it gets tricky. Brands like Valvoline, Pennzoil, Quaker State, and others make excellent oils for many vehicles. But unless the bottle specifically says VW 502.00 or 504.00 approved, don't use it. Even their European formula or high-mileage variants aren't approved unless explicitly stated. The Mobile One trap. This surprises people. Mobil 1 is a premium synthetic oil with a great reputation, but most Mobil 1 formulations are not VW approved. The standard Mobil 1 5W30 and 5W40 do not meet VW specifications. Only specific Mobil 1 ESP formulations carry VW approval, and you need to verify this on every bottle. Store brand synthetic oils. I see this constantly. People buying Walmart SuperTech or AutoZone synthetic because it's cheap and says full synthetic. These oils might meet basic API standards, but they're not tested or approved for VW engines. Using them is Russian roulette with your engine. High-mileage formulations. Those oils marketed for high-mileage engines with seal conditioners and extra additives, they alter the oil's properties in ways that VW hasn't approved. They can cause seal swelling that leads to leaks, or they might not protect high-pressure components adequately. 5W20 viscosity oils. Even if you see 5W20 VW approved oil, avoid it unless your specific engine calls for it. Most VW engines need 5W30 or 5W40. Using thinner oil reduces the protective oil film between moving parts, accelerating wear on bearings, camshafts, and the timing chain system. The diesel oil confusion. Some people think diesel-rated oils are stronger and better for any engine. Wrong. Diesel oils have different additive packages, including higher levels of detergents that can be harmful to gasoline engine components. Unless you have a TDI diesel, stay away from diesel-rated oils. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. The hidden danger: oil brand switching. Even if you're using approved oil, switching brands randomly is slowly destroying your engine. This is something almost nobody talks about, but it's critically important. Different oil brands, even when VW approved, use different additive packages and base stock formulations. When you constantly switch between brands, these additives can interact in unpredictable ways. What happens during brand switching? Different friction modifiers can compete with each other, reducing their effectiveness. Different detergent packages can cause temporary deposit mobilization, where old deposits break free and clog oil passages. Different seal conditioners can cause inconsistent seal behavior, leading to leaks. Your engine adapts to the specific oil you use. The computer's fuel and timing strategies, the wear patterns on components, and the deposit formations all stabilize around your oil choice. When you switch brands frequently, you never allow this stabilization to occur. The right approach: choose one VW-approved oil brand and stick with it. If you're using Liquimoly, keep using Liquimoly. If you're using Castrol Edge Professional, stay with it. If you're using Mobil 1 ESP, don't switch to Pennzoil Platinum Euro next time just because it's on sale. The only time you should switch brands is if you're moving from a non-approved oil to an approved oil, or if your preferred brand becomes unavailable. In those cases, change your oil and filter, drive for 1,000 miles, then change it again to fully transition to the new oil. The viscosity confusion. Using the wrong viscosity is just as dangerous as using the wrong oil type. Your owner's manual specifies oil viscosity for a reason. This isn't a suggestion, it's a requirement based on your engine's internal clearances, bearing designs, and operating characteristics. The 5W30 versus 5W40 debate. Many VW engines can use either 5W30 or 5W40 depending on climate and driving conditions. The first number, 5W, indicates cold start viscosity. It's the same for both. The second number indicates operating temperature viscosity. 5W40 is thicker at operating temperature. Use it if you live in hot climates, do frequent high-load driving, or have a high-mileage engine with slightly more bearing clearance. The thicker oil maintains better film strength under stress. 5W30 is thinner at operating temperature. Use it in cold climates or for primarily city driving. It flows more easily when cold, reducing startup wear, and provides better fuel economy. The 0W40 temptation. Some people use 0W40 thinking thinner when cold is better. This can be true for extreme cold climates, but the 0W specification can make the oil too thin when cold for VW's variable valve timing system. Unless your manual specifically calls for 0W40, stick with 5W ratings. The thick oil myth. Older mechanics often recommend using thicker oil in high-mileage engines. Switch to 10W40 or 20W50 to protect worn bearings, they say. This is outdated advice that's dangerous for modern VW engines. Thick oil can't flow through narrow passages quickly enough. It causes sluggish variable valve timing operation. It makes the oil pump work harder, increasing mechanical stress. and it delays oil delivery to critical components during cold starts, causing accelerated wear. If your engine is burning oil or showing low oil pressure, the solution isn't thicker oil, it's engine repair. Thick oil just masks symptoms while accelerating the underlying problems. The quick lube shop nightmare. Your local oil change shop is destroying VW engines and they don't even know it. This is one of the biggest problems facing VW owners. You take your car to Jiffy Lube, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, or your local quick lube shop, and they promise full synthetic oil change. What they don't tell you is that their full synthetic isn't VW approved. How quick lube shops operate. These businesses operate on volume and speed. They typically stock 2 to 3 bulk synthetic oils that they use for everything from Hondas to Fords to Volkswagens. These oils meet basic industry standards but lack manufacturer-specific approvals. When you drive in with your VW, the technician sees 5W30 required in the system and pumps in whatever 5W30 synthetic they have in bulk. They genuinely believe they're doing the right thing because the viscosity matches. But viscosity is only 20% of what matters. The upselling trap. Some shops will offer European synthetic as an upgrade for an extra $40. Half the time, this still isn't VW approved. It's just a higher-priced synthetic that they market to European car owners. Always ask to see the bottle and verify VW approval codes before they start the service. The filter problem? Even worse, many quick lube shops use cheap aftermarket oil filters that don't meet VW specifications. VW filters have specific bypass valve pressures and filtration ratings. Cheap filters can collapse under pressure, allow unfiltered oil to circulate, or fail to maintain oil pressure during cold starts. I've seen catastrophic engine damage traced back to a $4 aftermarket filter that failed after 3,000 miles. The metal mesh collapsed, blocked oil flow, and starved the engine of lubrication. The engine seized on the highway. Total loss. What you must do: never ever use a quick lube shop for your VW, unless they can prove they stock VW-approved oil and filters. Ask to see the bottles. Check the labels for VW 502.00 or 504.00 approval. Verify the filter is OEM or OEM equivalent, MAN Molly Hengst. If they can't provide proof, walk away. Drive to a Volkswagen dealership or independent Volkswagen specialist. Pay the extra $30. It's the cheapest insurance policy for your engine. The extended oil change interval disaster. VW says 10,000-mile oil changes. Following this advice is the fastest way to destroy your engine. This might be controversial, but I'm going to say it plainly. Volkswagen's 10,000-mile oil change interval is designed for warranty periods, not engine longevity. If you want your engine to last 200,000-plus miles, you need to change oil more frequently. Why 10,000 miles is too long? Even the best VW-approved synthetic oil degrades over time and mileage. Thermal cycling causes additive depletion. Combustion byproducts contaminate the oil. Moisture accumulation from short trips creates corrosive acids. Fuel dilution from direct injection thins the oil. At 5,000 miles, your oil is still performing well. At 7,500 miles, it's getting tired. At 10,000 miles, it's hanging on by a thread. And if you do any severe service, short trips, cold weather operation, towing, performance driving, the oil is completely overwhelmed by 10,000 miles. The turbo factor. Turbocharged engines are even harder on oil. The turbo bearings spin at extreme speeds and generate intense heat. They depend on instant oil flow and perfect lubrication. Degraded oil equals premature turbo failure, which is a $2,500 to $3,500 repair. I recommend 5,000-mile intervals for turbocharged VWs, 6,000 to 7,000 miles maximum for naturally aspirated engines. This ensures your oil is always in optimal condition to protect critical components. The "but it's expensive" argument. An extra oil change per year costs about $80 if you do it yourself, maybe $120 at a shop. Over 5 years, that's $400 to $600. Compare that to a single major repair: turbo replacement, timing chain service, engine rebuild, and the math is obvious. Frequent oil changes are the cheapest maintenance you can perform. The correct oil choices. Finally, here's exactly what you should be putting in your VW engine. Let me give you the definitive list of VW-approved oils that I trust and recommend. Tier 1. Best options: Liqui Moly Leichtlauf, High-Tech 5W40, VW 502.00 over 505.00 approved. This is my personal top choice. German-made, specifically formulated for European engines, excellent thermal stability, and proven track record in high-mileage VWs. Castrol Edge. Professional 5W30. VW504.00/507.00 approved. OEM fill for many VW engines. If it's good enough for the factory, it's good enough for ongoing maintenance. Mobil 1 ESP Formula 5 W-30 VW504.00/507.00 approved. Note, this is specifically the ESP formula, not standard Mobil 1. Widely available and excellent protection. Tier 2. Solid alternatives. Pennzoil Platinum Euro 5 W30 or 5W40 VW502.00/505.00 approved. Relatively new to the VW approved market, but meeting all requirements. Good price point. Ravenel Vi SE 5W40 VW502.00/505.00 approved. German oil that's gaining popularity among VW enthusiasts. Excellent cold weather performance. Model 8100 XS5W40 VW502.00/505.00 approved. Premium option, popular in performance applications. Expensive but outstanding protection. For TDI diesel engines, Castrol Edge. Professional Diesel 5 W30 VW507.00 approved. Liquimoli TopTech 4 2005 W30 VW507.00 approved. Shell Rotella gas truck 5W30 VW504.00/507.00 approved. How to verify approval. Always check the back label of the bottle. Look for explicit text stating meets VW 502.00 or VW 504.00 approved, or similar language. If it just says suitable for or recommended for, that's not the same as approved. Manufacturer approval means it's passed VW's testing protocols. The oil filter matters just as much. Using the right oil with the wrong filter is like wearing a seatbelt but disconnecting the airbag. Your oil filter is just as critical as the oil itself. It removes contaminants, maintains oil pressure, and protects your engine during cold starts when oil is thick and flow is restricted. The filters to use. OEM VW filters. Yes, they're expensive at $15 to $25, but they're engineered specifically for your engine's oil pressure requirements and flow characteristics. MAN filters. OEM supplier to VW. Identical quality to VW branded filters, but often cheaper. This is what I use personally. Moly filters, another OEM supplier with excellent quality and proper specifications. Hengst filters, German manufacturer, supplying many European brands. Great quality at reasonable prices. The filters to avoid, Fram. Despite being a popular brand, Fram filters don't meet VW specifications. The bypass valve pressure is wrong, and the filter media is inferior. Generic store brands. These might be fine for a Toyota, but they're not engineered for VW's requirements. Ultra-cheap filters. Anything under $8 is suspect. Quality filters cost money to manufacture properly. The critical specifications. VW filters have specific bypass valve opening pressures. This determines when the filter allows unfiltered oil to pass, if the filter becomes clogged. Wrong bypass pressure can cause the engine to run on unfiltered oil or to starve for oil. Both are catastrophic. The filter media must capture particles down to 20 microns while maintaining adequate flow. Cheap filters either flow well but filter poorly, or filter well but restrict flow. Quality filters do both correctly. The inspection routine. You need. Checking your oil isn't enough. Here's what you actually need to monitor. Between oil changes, you need to monitor your oil's condition. This early warning system can catch problems before they cause damage. Weekly checks. Pull the dipstick and check the oil level. VW engines can consume some oil between changes. This is normal. But if you're adding more than a quart every 1,000 miles, you have a problem that needs diagnosis. Check the oil's color and smell. Fresh VW approved oil is amber or light brown. After a few thousand miles, it should darken to brown but remain translucent. If it's jet black and opaque, you're overdue. If it smells like gasoline, you have fuel dilution issues. If it smells burnt, you're overheating the oil. Monthly checks. Look under your car for oil leaks. VW engines develop leaks from valve covers, oil pan gaskets, and front crankshaft seals. Catch these early before they become major oil loss problems. Check your oil pressure warning light. It should never illuminate during normal operation. If it flickers at idle when hot, your oil pressure is marginal. This could indicate worn bearings, a failing oil pump, or severely degraded oil. After spirited driving. If you enjoy performance driving, and who doesn't in a GTI or GLI, check your oil level after track days or mountain drives. High RPM operation increases oil consumption. Top off is needed with the same oil brand you use for changes. The catastrophic failure modes. Here's exactly what happens when you use the wrong oil, and it's not pretty. Let me paint you a picture of what wrong oil does to your VW engine, because understanding the consequences makes the importance crystal clear. Timing chain tensioner failure. Your timing chain tensioner relies on precise oil pressure to maintain tension. Wrong oil or degraded oil causes erratic pressure. The tensioner can't keep up. The chain loosens. First, you hear rattling on cold starts. Then the chain skips a tooth. Your valves meet your pistons. Your engine is now scrap metal. Repair cost, $6,000 to $8,000. Turbocharger destruction. Your turbo spins at 100,000 plus RPM with bearings separated by a microscopic oil film. Wrong oil breaks down under the extreme heat. The oil film collapses. Metal touches metal. The turbo seizes. The compressor wheel disintegrates. Pieces go through your intake system. Repair cost, $2,500 to $4,000. Cam follower wear. High-pressure fuel pumps in TSI engines are driven by cam followers. Wrong oil or degraded oil causes these followers to wear through their hardened coating. The exposed soft metal wears rapidly. The follower can break apart, dropping metal debris into your oil system. This destroys bearings throughout the engine. Repair cost, $800 for just the follower, $8,000 plus if you wait too long. Variable valve timing failure. VVT systems depend on precise oil viscosity and cleanliness. Wrong oil causes the VVT solenoids to stick or respond slowly. You get rough running, poor performance, and check engine lights. Eventually, the system fails completely. Repair cost, $800 to $1,500. Sludge formation. Non-approved oils form sludge under VW's operating conditions. This sludge clogs oil passages, screens, and pickup tubes. Oil starvation results. Bearings wear rapidly. Eventually, the engine seizes. Repair cost, engine replacement at $8,000 to $12,000. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to help you understand that oil choice is not a trivial decision. It's the single most important maintenance decision you make for your VW. The action plan. Here's exactly what you need to do right now to protect your engine. If you've been using wrong oil, don't panic, but do take immediate action. Step 1. Verify your current oil. Check your maintenance records. What oil was used at your last change? If it's not VW approved, you need to change it immediately, even if you're not due for another 5,000 miles. Step 2. Perform an immediate oil change. Don't wait. Schedule an oil change this week using proper VW-approved oil and a quality filter. If your engine has been running on wrong oil for multiple changes, consider doing 2 oil changes back-to-back, one now, another in 1,000 miles, to flush out as much contaminated oil as possible. Step 3. Establish the correct schedule. Commit to 5,000 to 7,000 mile intervals, depending on your engine and driving conditions. Mark your calendar. Set reminders. Make this non-negotiable. Step 4. Find the right service provider. Identify a VW dealership or independent specialist who stocks VW-approved oil and filters. Build a relationship with them. Verify they understand VW requirements. Step 5. Keep documentation. Save receipts showing the specific oil and filter used at each service. This documentation protects your warranty and proves proper maintenance if you sell the car. Step 6. Educate others. If you have family or friends with VWs, share this information. The oil mistake is so widespread that you probably know someone who's unknowingly destroying their engine. The bottom line. Let me summarize the critical points because your engine's life depends on this information. Never use non-VW approved oil, regardless of brand reputation or marketing claims. The viscosity rating is not enough. You must verify VW approval codes on the label. Avoid quick lube shops unless they can prove they stock approved oil and quality filters. The $20 you save isn't worth the thousands in repair bills. Don't follow the 10,000 mile interval blindly. Change your oil every 5,000 to 7,000 miles for maximum engine longevity. Stick with one brand of VW approved oil. Don't switch randomly between brands just because something is on sale. Use quality filters from OEM or OEM equivalent manufacturers like MAN, Molle, or Hengst. Monitor your oil between changes. Check level, color, and condition weekly. If you've been using wrong oil, change it immediately and establish the correct maintenance routine. Your Volkswagen engine is a sophisticated piece of German engineering designed to deliver reliable performance for hundreds of thousands of miles. But it can only do that if you give it the specific lubrication it needs. Wrong oil is not a minor inconvenience. It's an engine death sentence delivered slowly over thousands of miles. The choice is yours. You can save $20 per oil change using cheap, non-approved oil and face a $5,000 repair in a few years. Or you can invest in proper maintenance and drive your VW for 200,000, 300,000 miles without major engine problems. I've given you all the information you need. I've told you which oils to use, which to avoid, and why it matters. Now it's up to you to take action. Don't be the person who learns this lesson the hard way. Don't be the owner crying in my shop when I tell them their engine is destroyed and it's going to cost $8,000 to fix. Be the owner who does it right from the start. Your VW deserves the right oil. Your wallet deserves to avoid catastrophic repair bills. And you deserve the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're protecting your investment. If this video opened your eyes to the oil crisis affecting VW owners, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment telling me what oil you've been using. I'll let you know if you need to make a change. And share this video with every VW owner you know, because this information could literally save their engine. Your engine is counting on you. Make the right choice.